there was hardly any power and no water. We have, and there was no internet as well. But the power has been restored. I don't know for how long, we don't know. Water is still not there, so we are still struggling with water. But somehow we are managing with the help of friends and devotees. However, today is the appearance day of Sri Advaitacharya, and so we did not want to miss this. And we were missing all of your association as well. So we thought, let's have the program today. Um, I'm not sure if we will be able to have the program for the rest of the week, but hopefully we'll be back next week again. So thank you very much for your patience. And today we'll discuss the glories of Sri Advaita Acharya. Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhor Matamidam Tatra Dharana Paraha Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunayavatirna Kalau Samarpayitum Unnatojvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratu Vasachi Nandana Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna. We welcome all of our YouTube Live listeners, our listeners over Facebook Live, and our dear listeners over Zoom. We thank each and every one of you for coming and giving us your valuable association. Each and every one of you for your sweet messages. Your encouraging messages never made us feel that we are alone in this. So we had all of your strong support, and we continue to do that. So thank you so much for all of your prayers, for all of your, messages. We are eternally grateful to all of you. This family that we have is our greatest treasure. So thank you all. Thank you so much. So before we move forward today, we would like to congratulate and announce the participants of the quiz session from session 19. So we'd like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Mother Flavier, Brinda Gopika Mataji, Nudan Purohit Mataji, Radha Mataji, Hari Krishna Madali Prabhu, and Ramjani Gopika Mataji. Congratulations to all of you for participating in this quiz session.
And so wishing all of you a very happy Sri Advaita Saptami, the divine appearance of Sri Advaita Acharya Mahashoy. You can see behind us, there is the Krishna Balaram deities on the top, and there's Tribhanga Lalita, Madan Mohan Krishna, and the Panchatattva deities who are here. In the middle is Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. On our right-hand side, his right-hand side is Nityananda Prabhu. On his right is Sri Advaita Acharya, whose appearance day we are celebrating today. And then on the left is Gadadhar Pandit and then Srivas Pandit here. So today we are we are celebrating the divine appearance day of Sri Advaita Acharya. So in this session 20 today, we will describe the transcendental treasure trove of the divine glories of Sri Advaitacharya, about his appearance and some of his very, very sweet pastimes.
And we will also conclude the session with a very meaningful prayer. You know, what is the special prayer that we can make to Sri Advaita Acharya on this very auspicious day? So we will share that prayer at the end of the session, and we will also listen to the benefits. What is the benefits of listening to the glories of this most divine and merciful personality? And we will also conclude with a very wonderful, sweet session of offering Pushpanjali to our Advaita Mahashaya of the deity from Panchatattva. So all of you can also participate in the Pushpanjali towards the end.
So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he speaks in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela chapter 6, very beautifully he describes Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu. Mahavishnu Jagat Karta Mayaya Srijatyadaha Tasyavatara Evayam Advaitacharya Ishvaraha. Lord Advaitacharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya.
Jagat Mangala Advaita Mangala Guradhama Mangala Charitra Sada Mangala Yarakanama.
Being a reservoir of all auspicious attributes, Sri Advaitacharya is all auspicious for all the world. His characteristics, his activities, and name are always auspicious. So what does this auspicious mean? Mangala, Jagat Mangala Advaita. Mangala means auspicious. Mangala Gunadhama, his guna, his dharma, they are Mangala, auspicious. Mangala Charitra Sada, his characteristics eternally are auspicious, Mangala. And Mangala Jaranama, and his name is also Mangala, which means one of his names is Mangala, which means very auspicious. What does this auspiciousness mean? It actually means true happiness. So Sri Advaita Acharya is described here. He's the essence of true happiness of the soul. So just by thinking about Sri Advaita Acharya Mahashaya, we'll be blessed with true happiness. Now, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he's an incarnation of Mahavishnu. We know about that. He's also an Acharya. He's a teacher. Because he is non-different from Hari, who is the Supreme Lord, he's called Advaita. Dvaita means two, and means no. Advaita means not two, they are one. So he is Advaita, and he propagates the cult of devotion. Therefore, he's called Acharya. Through his example, he is setting example for others through his activities. He's the Lord. He's said to be the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Now, all of his activities, his other activities of Vishnu, they are auspicious. Anyone actually who can view the all auspiciousness in the pastimes of Lord Vishnu also become auspicious, which means if someone can see the true nature, essence of happiness in the pastimes of Lord Vishnu, they also will become auspicious. Therefore, Since Lord Vishnu is the fountainhead of auspiciousness, anyone who is attracted by the devotional service of Lord Vishnu can render the greatest service to the human society.
So now let's just discuss a little bit about the appearance of Sri Advaita Gosai. Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu appeared in the year 1434 in Navagram, which is in Bengal, to Sri Kubera Pandit was his father and Nabha Devi was the mother. They were originally inhabitants of this Navagram village, which is near Srihotta, which is right now in Bangladesh, actually. And later, this family, they moved to Shantipur in West Bengal, near Sri Mayapur Dham. Shantipur is on the bank of the Ganges. So Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he is recognized as the combined incarnation and expansion of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Sadashiva, as we all know, we have heard that Sadashiva is the original Lord Shiva who eternally resides in Sri Goloka Vrindavan Dham. And it in fact is stated in Sri Bhakti Ratnakar. Bhakti Ratnakar is a wonderful devotional book which talks about the Gaudiya Vaishnava history of the personalities in the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So in the Bhakti Ratnakar, it is stated that when Nabha Devi, when she gave birth to this most illustrious and this most beautiful child, very quietly, it is said that Kubera Pandit approached the maternity room and to get a glimpse of his newborn child. He wanted to see, how his newborn child looks. So he very quietly, he didn't want to disturb Nabha Devi. So very, very quietly, he just came inside the room to take a little glance, little glance of the newborn child. And when he came inside in those days, there was no electricity. We are experiencing that, over here. We used to feel these few days that has been going on, and we don't know how much more it will go on. But we've been having power fluctuations, and for one full day, we did not have power at all. And at that time, we were realizing the importance of Srila Prabhupada's books. Prabhu was saying that, now we are so used to these electronic gadgets that even Srila Prabhupada's books we tend to read from our phones or from our laptops. But because now we did not have power, we were, forced to touch Srila Prabhupada's books. Just taking Srila Prabhupada's books in our hands gives such a wonderful pleasure. So, reading and touching Srila Prabhupada's books, so reading the books, and as soon as it would get dark, we would say, okay, after doing some kirtan for our deities with candlelight, we would do some kirtan for them. And it would be so cold because we would, freezing temperatures here. So we would just say, okay, it's sundown, now time to sleep. So we would sleep and get up around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and we don't have nothing to do, at that time, just then again get up, chant, no water, no electricity. Somehow or the other, it was raining. So we collected the rainwater, we used that. All these adventures we have been doing for the past few days. And it gave us a vision. All of this experience gave us a practical vision of how it would be in the olden days, how it would be, when there was no electricity. How would, people actually survive? How would they survive? In extreme cold, extreme heat, how would they survive?
And it also reminded us so much of the Vrajamandal Parikrama that for 30 days we were on. Of course, there was a little bit of electricity, but there was no electricity for any other purpose. And all day, it's just walking, coming back, taking rest, having prasadam, singing the Lord's glories, hearing the Lord's glories, and then again wake up in the morning at 2:30 a.m. and take bath with sometimes cold water, sometimes they would give hot water as well. But it was a lot of adjustment that had to be made. It takes about maybe 2 to 3 days to adjust, but after that, it just becomes like this is how life is. And so it is definitely giving us a glimpse, and it's a mercy of the Lord for us, everyone, to go back to the basics. And as Srila Prabhupada would say, simple living, high thinking. And that's the purpose of his so many farm communities that he developed.
And with this much water, little bit of water, we have to manage everything. So that also, which we learned in Rajamandal, we are reliving that in these few days also, and we will probably have to do that for the next week too. Krishna knows till when, but let's see. But then, and nevertheless, coming back over here, Shri Kubera Pandit, he came into the maternity room to just take a little glance at the, cutely born newborn child. And because it was so dark inside, there was just some, little ghee lamps which were burning. Otherwise it was dark. But the child was so brilliant, so effulgent. It was as if millions of moons together, the reflection of the moons was, reflecting upon the face of Kuvera Pandit. And Kubera Pandit, he was shocked to see this, beautiful, shining baby. How is this baby so much effulgent? He was so much taken aback to see his delicately newborn child. And the residents of Navagram, they came running to see the newborn child. Everyone remarked that they had never seen such exquisite beauty. And because he was so beautiful, every limb of the little child was formed like a lotus, like a delicate lotus. He was therefore given the name Kamala Kanta. Kamala Kanta means, of course, Kamala means lotus. Kanta means the husband. So, husband of one who sits on the lotus. That is the husband of the goddess of fortune, which is another name of Lord Vishnu, is also Kamala Kanta, which means the husband of the goddess of fortune. But the reason why Kamalakanta was given this name is because he was so beautiful. Lotus eyes, lotus palms, so beautiful, like a lotus. And his other name was also Mangala, which means all auspicious. So they were saying that what good fortune the father has done, this Kubera Pandit. What great fortune has he, that he has got this wonderful, brilliant child as his son. So therefore, he is all auspicious. This child is all auspicious. The Brahmanas, they came together. They saw beautiful, auspicious signs on this beautiful child. So they gave him the name Mangala. So these were the two names of Sri Advaita Gosai. One was Kamalakanta, the other was Mangala. Advaita was given as an initiated name by Srila Madhavendra Puri, and he was called as Acharya because he was, teaching by his own example.
So when Kubera Pandit and Nabha Devi, the father and mother of Sri Advaitacharya, left this world, Advaitacharya, he went to Gaya, Bodh Gaya, to perform their Pindadan ceremonies. And then from there, he said, let me continue the tour of the pilgrimage of the holy cities in India. So he went there all over India after going to Gaya. And during this pilgrimage, he met none other than Srila Madhavendra Puri, who is supposed to be the grand spiritual master, who is the grand spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and who is the first one in our Brahma Madhva Sampradaya to be revealed the Madhurya Ras. Before that, it was mostly Vatsalya Ras. But then Madhavendra Puri was revealed the Madhurya Ras, who then revealed it to Sri Advaitacharya, who revealed this wonderful Ras while initiating Sri Ishvara Puri, and then to Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And then when he was going through these different places, he came to Vrindavan, Sri Advaitacharya, and he became absorbed in the worship of Krishna. There, he discovered a very, very beautiful deity of Sri Madan Mohan, or also known as Madan Gopal. And then, which was actually installed by Sri Vajranath several centuries ago, who's the great grandson of Krishna. And Sri Advaitacharya discovered the deity of Madan Gopal, Madan Mohan, and later he entrusted to the care of Chaubeji of Mathura, and before he continued to his pilgrimage tour. Later, this deity was served by Srila Sanatan Goswami.
So we all know the pastime of this beautiful Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan is the Sambandha Vigraha, and this Madan Mohan deity is currently residing in Jaipur in Karoli. And Madan Mohan, he is the original Sambandha Vigraha, and he was originally found by Srila Advaitacharya. And Advaitacharya, when he was in Vrindavan, he found Madan Mohan, he discovered Madan Mohan, and before he left Vrindavan, he gave it to this very wonderful Vaishnava, this very, very, auspicious Brahmana. His name was Chaubeji, and he entrusted the worship of Madan Mohan to Chaubeji of Vrindavan, of Mathura. And this Chaubeji of Mathura, he used to serve Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan, in fact, became a family member of Chaubeji. And Sanatan Goswami, when he was instructed to come to Vrindavan by Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sanatan Goswami would spend his time, most of the days, he would do Govardhan Parikrama every single day. And after doing Govardhan Parikrama, he would come and he would go and beg Madhukari, beg alms to, eat something for his survival. So that's how he would go around. And he one day came to Mathura and he happened to just come to the home of Chaubeji. He came to the home of Chaubeji and he was, Chaubeji was known all over Braj that he was the best, Srimad Bhagavad Katha. He would give the best Bhagavad Katha in entire Brajamandal area. So to hear his Bhagavad Katha, Sanatan Goswami came to Chaubeji's house. And then both of them would discuss Bhagavatam at length. And, Sanatan Goswami started liking to come to Chaubeji's home. So very often he would come. One such day when Sanatan Goswami came, then Sanatan Goswami saw that the young son of Chaubeji, he came crying to his father. He said, Baba, Baba, dekho, ye Madan Mohan bahut dusht ho gaya hai. This Madan Mohan has become very naughty. You gave me laddu, he ate my laddu, he snatched my laddu. He's saying that this is my laddu, and he took my laddu. He's not giving me. So then Sanatan Goswami was shocked because he saw that Madan Mohan came running. The deity of Krishna came running and he said, Nahi Baba, nahi, ye jhoot bol raha hai, ye Lala jhoot bol raha hai. This Lala is telling lies. I didn't steal. He lost in a game. So I said, whoever is the loser will have to give their laddu. So I took the laddu. So it is my laddu. So then Chaubeji started pacifying both the boys. They were quarreling amongst each other. So Chaubeji said, Are, abhi ladna band karo. Stop fighting, both of you. So then Chaubeji, he took the laddu from his son's hand. He made it into two halves. And he said, Lala, this is for you. And you, Lala, come here. And then Madan Mohan said, Kya hai? And then he said, okay, take. And he gave to Madan Mohan. He put the laddu in his hand. And seeing all this, Sanatan Goswami was, what is happening? Krishna is actually here as Chaubeji's son. He's interacting with Chaubeji as his own son. So to see these interactions, Sanatan started coming to Chaubeji's home every single day. And then after a few days, one day Chaubeji came to Sanatan and said, my dear Sanatan, you have come, but look, my Lala, this Madan Mohan, he is now crying. He is zid pakad ke baith gaya hai. He is, he has sat down and he's crying that he wants to go with you. So can you want to take him? Do you want to take him with you? I tried to explain to him that you are a Babaji. You don't have your own address, where you're going to stay, where you're going to eat. How I tried to convince him, but he's not listening to me. He's saying he wants to go with you. So please do something about him. So then Sanatan said, no. I don't have my own responsibility. Who will take? I don't have my own eating address. Nothing I have. How I take care of Krishna? No. I can't take care. So then this Krishna started crying. Madan Mohan was crying. No. I will not do any kind of fussy things. I will not demand anything from you. You just take me with you. So then Sanatan said, okay, whatever I give you, you will have to eat. No, that time saying, I want this, I want that. You cannot say that. So Madan Mohan said, yes, yes, I promise. I won't ask anything. You just take me with you. So then Sanatan said, okay, come. So holding Sanatan Goswami's hand, Madan Mohan came back to Vrindavan. And that is where Sanatan Goswami used to worship little Madan Mohan. And every day Sanatan Goswami would get some whole wheat, he would mix it with the Jamuna water, and he would throw it into the fire. And then that burnt buns, he would, give it to Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan would put it on his hand and he will eat that. So one day he said, Madan Mohan, Sanatan said, Sanatan, please at least add some salt, little ghee you add, little bit, you put that at least and give. What is this burnt you are giving? Sanatan said, see, I told you. Today you're asking salt and ghee. Tomorrow you will ask Rajbhog, all this. No, no, no. You go back to Chaubeji. Go. Say, no, 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 no. I don't want to go. I want to stay with you. So this is how Madan Mohan continued to stay in Vrindavan with Srila Sanatan Goswami. He is our Sambandha Vigraha. So wonderful he is. And he is, he was first discovered by Srila Advaitacharya Prabhu. So this is the glory of Sri Madan Mohan and Sri Advaitacharya Gosai.
So Srila Advaitacharya, after he came back from his pilgrimage and doing the Pindadan and going to Vrindavan, meeting to the Mother in Puri,
receiving
initiation from him, he spent most of his adult life in the town of Shantipur with his wife and family, where he became a very well-respected leader of a very small Vaishnava community. And he was encouraging everyone to follow the path of bhakti, loving service to Lord Krishna. And Advaita Gosai, Sri Advaita Gosai, he boldly declares, Chaitanya Dasamui, Chaitanya Das, Chaitanya Dasamui, Taradashira Das. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya and a servant of his servants. Acharya Charane Mora Koti Namaskar. Ithe kichu aparadha nalobe amar. I offer my humble obeisances 10 million times to the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya. Please do not take offense at this. This is what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, and this is what we also offer to Sri Advaita Acharya.
So, Srila Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he has one more name. He is very lovingly called as Gaura Ana Thakur. Gaura Ana Thakur, which means he who brought Gauranga. Ana means to bring. Gaura is Gaura. So the Lord who brought Gaura down. Thakur means Advaitacharya, is the Mahashai, is the great Prabhu. So Gaura Ana Thakur means the personality who brought Gaura here to us is Advaitacharya. Because Sri Advaitacharya, after a few years of staying in Shantipur, although his base is Shantipur, he would also travel to Navadvip because he had a home there on the banks of the Ganges, and there Srivas Thakur was there, and there, along with Haridas Thakur, who would also travel with Srila Advaita Acharya. They would come and spend time in Navadvip also, near the home of Jagannath Mishra, because they knew that Mahaprabhu will descend here, will come here, and right there on the banks of the river Ganges, Advaita Acharya Gosai, he would regularly, for months together, he prayed to his Shalagram Shila, worshipped his Shalagram Shila with Tulasi, Manjaris, and Ganga water, and he would fervently, loud roars, he would call out that, my dear Lord, Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, please come and deliver these people in Kali Yuga. Please, without your involvement, there is no hope for deliverance for these people in Kali Yuga. So because of the calls, the loving cries of Sri Advaitacharya, Gauranga Mahaprabhu came. So therefore, because of Advaitacharya, because Lord Chaitanya came, because of Advaitacharya, he is very, very appropriately named as Gaur Ana Thakur, the personality who brought Gaura down.
So then, because Advaitacharya, as we know, he prayed fervently. Several months he worshipped his Shaligram Shilas. Now there is a wonderful pastime in a book called Gaura Ganodesh Deepika, which talks about Sri Advaitacharya as the cowherd boy. In Vraja, Sada Shiva, who is none other than Advaita Prabhu, took the form of a cowherd boy and he danced alongside Krishna. One time in Kartik, on the day of Diwali, Sadashiva, he saw Krishna Balaram dancing wonderfully with the cowherd boys. And then Sadashiva Advaita, he became a cowherd boy himself. He started dancing and spinning like a whirling wheel for the pleasure of Gopal. And then by Krishna's mercy, therefore, Sadashiva plays two different roles in Vraja, as Gopishwar Mahadev and also as a Gopa. So Srila Prabhupada, he's begging for mercy from Sri Advaitacharya. In fact, Srila Prabhupada in 1940s and 50s, several years before he came to the West, he visited Shantipur during his Grihastha days. And also, he visited on the day before departing to US on Jaladuta in 1965. One day before, he departed from Kolkata. He came to Shantipur, which is about 3 hours drive from Kolkata.
Special place called as Babla. Babla in Shantipur, that is the place where Advaita Acharya's home is, and it is right there on the banks of the Ganges. There's a beautiful mango grove in front. It's a very, very, very serene place, and Srila Prabhupada would visit here every time.
And the Pujari of Shantipur temple asked him, "Who are you? I remember you are coming for so many years." So Srila Prabhupada responded, "My name is Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, and I am a disciple of that empowered soul, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, who has come to deliver this world." He said, "I have been coming to here because my Gurudev has given me an impossible mission to perform. He has ordered me to take the message of Lord Chaitanya and the holy names of Krishna across the ocean to spread all over the world. I have no qualification, I have no ability. People in the Western world have never heard the name of Krishna or who is Radharani. How can I convince them? Therefore, all these years I've been coming here just to beg to please give me some strength, guide me how I can fulfill the order of my spiritual master." And because this is the place where Advaita Acharya, Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu, they are eternally present in Shantipur. Ekadina Shantipure, Prabhu Advaita Ghare. Which means this is a whole song, just like we do Mahaprasade Govinde, Navabrahmani Vaishnave, and Sharira Vidyajal. We sing all this before honoring Prasadam, honoring the Prasad. Similarly, several devotees, they also sing this song, Ekadina Shantipure, Prabhu Advaitera Ghare. There is a whole song and description of how in Shantipur, in the house of Advaita Acharya, how Lord Chaitanya came, Nityananda came, and all these wonderful pastimes that happened there. And remembering those wonderful pastimes of how they honored Mahaprasad, let us also honor Mahaprasad in that way. So Srila Prabhupada said, in Shantipur, in the house of Advaita Acharya, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they are eternally present. They are planning to take the holy names all over the world. And my Guru Maharaj has given me the same mission. And therefore, I've been coming here, praying to them, empower me to fulfill my Guru Maharaj's order. And tomorrow I am taking a cargo ship to New York City. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know what I will find there. I don't know how I will do it. I don't know whether I will even survive, but I am going to give it my shot. And so I'm crying to my Gurudev and to Supreme Personality of Godhead, to Sri Advaitacharya, to please empower me.
So then, of course, the Pujari blessed Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was really crying and begging for mercy the day before he left in the Jaladuta. And then Srila Prabhupada went. And then there was, this Pujari was a very old Pujari. And then a few years later, a decade later actually, there were some devotees of ISKCON who visited this place of Babla. They came there. They were Western devotees. And they had with them some books by Srila Prabhupada. And then they, in the books of Srila Prabhupada, there was the picture of Srila Prabhupada. And, there was a young boy there, young Pujari. And he said, who is this man? I know this man. This is Abhay Charana Bhaktivedanta Swami. And then the devotees, they said, yes, this is our Srila Prabhupada. He has, started this movement, and now we are opening this temple here in Mayapur. So we are here to, take darshan of Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu. And then that young Pujari said that the day before your Guru Maharaj left for the West, he had come here. And that young boy was actually the son of that elder Pujari who was talking to Srila Prabhupada. And that young boy had now grown up to be the next Pujari. And he remembered Srila Prabhupada. And he narrated this pastime, how Prabhupada was crying. And he used to literally cry every time he would visit Shantipur in this Babla temple, the home of Sri Advaitacharya, where the ancestral deities of Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu are still there till today. Very, very special place. And then, that devotee, came back. And of course, we all know about the glories of that place now, that how Srila Prabhupada literally used to pour his heart out to the previous acharyas, to Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu, to empower him to fulfill the mission of his spiritual master. So a very special prayer that, can be appealed to Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu on this most auspicious day of his divine appearance is this. That actually in Sri Mayapur Dham, on the, 1 year, on the divine appearance day of Advaitacharya Prabhu, some of us were there. I was with His Grace Jananivas Prabhu, who is the head Pujari of Mayapur, and one devotee asked Jananivas Prabhu, we were standing in front of the Panchatattva deities, and one devotee just asked Jananivas Prabhu that, Prabhu, what would be an appropriate prayer to Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu? What would be that on this auspicious day, because it is said that the personalities are more merciful on their appearance day. So what can we pray to them on this special day? And especially what can we pray to Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu on this very special day was the question that was asked to Jananivas Prabhu.
So he said that Advaitacharya, he's the combined incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Sadashiva is the predominating deity of false ego. So we can pray to Sri Advaitacharya today, please, my Lord, I am overly puffed up of my birth, qualities, and all these other unnecessary things that are in connection with this temporary body of mine. So please be merciful upon me and purify my false ego. Allow me to develop my true ego, which is that I am the eternal servant of my spiritual master. I'm meant to be used as an instrument in his hands in any way he feels best, and engage me in the most glorious mission of your Lord and Master, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Sri Advaita Gosai ki jai. So this is the prayer that let us beg at the lotus feet of Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu that please remove our false ego and allow us to develop our true ego and allow us to become the humble instruments in the hands of our spiritual master so that he can engage us in any way he seems fit in the glorious mission of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, which is so dear to Sri Advaitacharya. This is his mission, that everyone be delivered. So please, Advaitacharya Prabhu, please help us, allow us to be engaged in the service of our spiritual masters for your pleasure. So the Falastuti, what is the Falastuti that we get by listening to the glories of Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu's divine qualities, beautiful qualities, pastimes? What is the benefit of it?
Anyone who hears and glorifies Sri Advaitacharya, he becomes glorified himself, because such activities free one from all different kinds of misfortune. So all glories to the supremely merciful Advaitacharya. Whoever takes shelter of his lotus feet will obtain the great prize of Gaura Prema, Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Advaitacharya ki, Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Ekhane rahila grantha Amrita lahari Bodan bhare ekbar Bolo Hari Hari.
Hari Hari. So today we will sing this one very beautiful bhajan, very simple one. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More.
And after that we will do Pushpanjali of the Lord, of Sri Advaitacharya. We will take the phone there and we will actually, have darshan of Panchatattva and Sri Advaitacharya. And then we will, while offering flowers, if you have flowers, you can collect them so we can offer after the kirtan when we do the Pushpanjali. Or if not, you can offer manas flowers. And we will chant the Prabhupada mantra and then the Panchatattva mantra. And you can repeat after us. And in this way, we can glorify Sri Advaita Acharya.
So this song is written by Srila Narottam Das Thakur in glorification of the Panchatattva.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Toma Vina Ke Dayalo Jagat Samsare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Patita Pavana Hetu Tavayavata Patita Pavana Hetu Tavayavata Mosamapa Tita Prabhu Napai Beya Mosamapa Tita Prabhu Napai Beya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karo More Mahaprabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi
Mahaprabhu Nityananda Premananda
Kripa bolo kona kora ami boro dukhi.
Kripa bolo kona kora ami boro dukhi.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo Hare Daya Karo Sitapati Advaita Gosai
Daya Karo Advaita Gosai
Tava Kripa Bole Pai Chaitanya Nitai
Tava Kripa Bole Pai Chaitanya Nitai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo Hare
Ahasaru Sanatana Ruparaguna
Haswaru Sanatana Ruparaguna
Vanta Juga Shri Jivaha Prabhulokana
Bhatta Juga Shri Jiva Prabhulokana
Daya Guru Shri Acharya Prabhu Shri Deva
Daya Karo Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa
Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamada
Ramachandra Shangamage Narottamada
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Daya Karo Hare
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karo Hare
Toma Vina Ke Dayalu
Jagat Samsare Tama Bina Ke Dayalu Jagat Samsare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Shri Advaitacharya ki Jai Shri Panchatattva Bhagavan ki
Jai. So before we open the lines, please give us a minute. We'll just announce the quiz questions for today. Thank you so much, Shamala, for this.
First, which chapter describes about Advaita Acharya Prabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela? Second, what is one of Advaita Acharya Prabhu's name, which means auspicious?
Third, what is the benefit of just thinking about Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu? Fourth, what is the meaning of Advaitacharya?
Fifth, which year and which place Advaita Acharya Prabhu appeared? Sixth, Advaita Acharya Prabhu is the combination of who?
Seventh, what are the names given to Advaita Prabhu when he was born? Eighth, who is Madhavendra Puri? What is the specialty of him in our Sampradaya?
Ninth, what is the deity name that Advaita Acharya discovered? And what is the Brahmana's name who took care of that deity? 10th, why Sanatan Goswami often went to the Brahmana's home?
11th, what is another name of Advaitacharya Prabhu related to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? 12th, what are the two roles of Sadashiv in Gokul Vrindavan?
13th, which place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Acharya are eternally present? 14th, what should be our prayer to Advaita Acharya Prabhu on the auspicious occasion of his appearance day?
15th, what benefits are there in listening to the pastimes and the glories of Sri Advaitacharya? So thank you so much, Shamala, for these wonderful quiz questions. Now, before we open up the lines, we would like to offer this Mahaprasad to all of you. So this is Mahaprasad that we have made. So please accept this. We could not cook much, but just keep it. So please accept this Mahaprasad. Because we had to come up with innovative ideas to cook without water, some less water, as less water as possible. So these are some sweets that we have baked, and it's offered to Sri Advaitacharya. And this is for all of you to accept as Mahaprasad. Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
So now we go to Sri Advaita Acharya, and we will offer Pushpanjali to him. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhaktivedanta Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine
Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Esha Pushpanjali
Esha Pushpanjali
Esha Pushpanjali
Esha Pushpanjali
Esha Pushpanjali
Esha Pushpanjali
Obeisances.
Jai Shri Advaitacharya ki Jai
Nam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Esha Pushpanjali, Esha Pushpanjali, Esha Pushpanjali. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Esha Pushpanjali Esha Pushpanjali Esha Pushpanjali.
Jai Shri Advaitacharya Prabhu ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, now we can open up the lines. Garima.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Shil Advaitacharya, Shila Prabhupada, Shri Gurudev. Now I like the class, and it was so fun, and how you described like how the birth, like the appearance of Advaita Chandra was there, and I also liked other things, and Advaitacharya had like two more names. I think two more names. I can't remember the names, but like one was like the one who called Gaura, and the second one was all auspicious. Was I think Advaita? No, I don't think it was
Mangala.
Advaita.
Mangala.
Yeah, Mangala.
And there was a third name as well.
Kamalakanta.
Yeah, Kamalakanta. I love the three names, how the meanings are. Now, I have one question, like for Nityananda Trayudashi. Now, like what kind of food or sweet does Nitai love?
Nityananda Prabhu, he loves sweets. He is the one with the sweet tooth. He loves sweets, any kind of sweets. Anything with sweets you offer, he loves.
Yeah, I really understand that answer, because I was a little confused. Like, does he love food or does he love sweets? And yeah, because I don't know what to make for him and on Nityananda Trayadashi. I got these Ram and Sita.
Oh, wow.
Lakshman and the big Hanuman.
How sweet.
That's their gift today. Like one devotee
Wonderful,
Mataji,
wonderful.
she sent them gifts. So I asked them, do you want gift today on Nityananda Trayadashi? She said, they said no today.
Krishna is Hanumanji today.
I don't do you on the laptop.
Bas. Thank you so much, Mataji Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Oh, you have a question? Okay, go ahead.
When we offer it, and then eating the deity, and we eating sin.
So when we do not offer the food and eat, we eating the sin.
No, he's saying when we offer.
Yeah, he got mixed up. No, he mean when we do not offer.
When we offer, and then we eat a sin, and we eat a deity.
No, eating DT prasadam.
No, we eat a deity.
But daily prasadam is non-different. So
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Haribol.
Thank you so much, Mataji Prabhuji, for a wonderful class.
I really missed you both all these days.
Yeah, we've been missing you.
too. That's what we are making up by, trying to give you some Mahaprasad. So here's some Mahaprasad.
What is the name of the sweet?
I just call it, it's made like puff pastries. I have stuffed it with some apples, some pineapples. It is stuffed with that and baked.
Jai.
Jai.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. And we pray that the condition get better in Texas so that
Thank you.
things get much more stable at your end, and
Snowstorm
all the devotees
slow down.
and all the devotees get much stable. So we are praying, and we will continue to pray. Thank you so much
So grateful.
for being so merciful to give us this class. Without you, definitely this mental Pushpanjali was not possible. So we are very, very grateful. I think this is the first time we are offering flowers to Advaitacharya in our life. So thank you. We are very, very grateful. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Kirti.
Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, baby, we can hear you now.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all
Hare-
glory to Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga. I really liked today's class, Mataji and Prabhuji, and I wanted to say that I missed you both so much.
True.
And I really hope the condition gets better over there. And I really liked today's class. There was a lot of pastimes, and my favorite pastime was with Madan Mohan and Sanatan Goswami, and all the pastimes about Advaitacharya. And I don't have any questions, but I wanted to thank you both and for bringing the sweet and the Mahaprasad. I know that there's really less water there, so I really wanted to thank you both for bringing the Mahaprasad over here for us. And I also thank you for giving us darshan of Advaita Acharya from your place. So thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji, for a beautiful session. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. We love you. Hari Bol.
Haribo.
Thank you. Hari Prasad Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Gauranga Nityananda. Thank you so much Mataji and Prabhuji for your wonderful session and these difficult days. And thanks a lot. We are able to hear the glories of Advaitacharya from you first time. Even as Mataji said, I am also hearing first time. And I have done the Manasa Puspanjali with help of you. It is a great association with you. I feel very, very blessed. And the Sringar is very, very nice. The deity Sringar is very nice. And thank you for offering us a Mahaprasadam. And we all pray for you both and all the devotees in Texas to become normal and get all the necessity things. And thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. And I have only one question, if you don't mind, with respect to the deity Sringar only. For our Srila Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has that wearing that saffron clothes. For the other acharyas are wearing white clothes. What is the reason behind that?
That's because Srila Prabhupada was a sannyasi. He took the
Okay.
sannyas ashram. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati also took the sannyas ashram, but all the others were either grihasthas or had taken the Babaji order of life. Just like Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he was a grihastha, and he had 10, 11 children.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of them was illustrious Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he did not take sannyas. And then Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they were Babaji order. They were not in this. I mean, it's the renunciation is of the same order as sannyas, but still it's a different kind of order. And
Okay.
that's why they are in white. But those
Okay,
who are taking official renounced order, brahmachari or sannyasi, then they wear saffron.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. That is clear for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your association. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Anjali, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Shri Radhe.
Yeah, the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna, and all Acharya श्री प्रभुपाद आपके सबकी कृपा से मम्मी का ऑपरेशन ठीक से हो गया.
Oh, very nice.
Now I'm in the hospital in Delhi with her,
Very nice.
but it will take little time to make her stand because it was a very big surgery, hip surgery.
Yes.
So it will take time. Still, she is feeling very, very weak. And she will take time, but today, like, you know, she could see everything and she just did the darshan. She took bhog also and everything, you know. Yeah, but like, you know, God was so kind, and because of yours, everything, she could do it. And I was just at the right time with her when you offered the bhog, and she just had the bhog and she was so happy. And everything went well. Hari Bol. Thank you so much for your prayers and everybody's prayers and association. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you, everybody. Deep gratitude for everything.
We are
And
very,
Mummy is
very
also
happy
saying
to hear,
thank you to everybody.
very happy to hear this wonderful news, and thank you for sharing it on this
Thank you
auspicious
so
day of
much.
Advaitacharya's appearance day.
Thank you
And
so
our
much for
prayers
your prayers
continue.
and blessings.
Yeah, prayers continue that she has a very speedy recovery and that she is able to walk again normally very, very soon. That's our prayer.
Very, very, yeah, that will take time, but still, like, all the blessings and prayers are there, and I hope like everything will be fine. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, you take care, you take care.
Sure, sure. Thank you. We really miss you.
Oh, we missed you
And
too.
please
We
take
miss
care of
you.
yourself. It's snowing so much. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful narration of the pastimes of Advaitacharya. And thank you so much for your delicious prasadam, Mahaprasadam. Very tasty, Mataji. Very nice.
Thank you.
Mataji, one question. You didn't mention anything about Advaita Acharya's family, like his wife and children. Was he married and did he have children? And do they have any pastimes?
Yes, Advaitacharya Prabhu actually had two wives, Sita Thakurani, who is the more famous one, and he also had another wife called Sri Devi, and they are both expansions of Yogamaya, it is said. And from Sita Thakurani, she gave birth to 6 children, and out of whom Achyutananda is the most prominent. And from the other wife, he had only one son. So out of the 6 sons, 3 of them, including Achyutananda, were devotees of Lord Chaitanya. The others were not. But Achyutananda was the most prominent of the sons of Advaitacharya Prabhu.
Thank you so much. For the past days, we were praying for all your safety and health, because we know we are watching what's happening in Texas with the snow and everything. And we were always thinking about you, how you are going to manage and everything. But luckily, by Krishna's mercy, you are all safe. I'm glad to see you all back to normal. And we were really missing all the time, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, we are very happy to see all of you have your association as well. Although not everything is back to normal, today we had to make an extra effort and hope, thankfully the electricity was there. So we are able to, it's still there. So we are able to.
It's generally disconnecting for us. It disconnects a little after, sometimes it disconnects different times. But today we are very lucky that it's still on. And but the internet is fluctuating. So, and there's no water. We are struggling with all of that. But still, It's perfect.
It's
So
real austerity, as they say, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you for all your efforts. Thank you. We are very grateful for your service, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. It says the Texas never experienced this for the past 150 years. This kind of temperature.
yeah.
It's crazy. But anyways, thank you so much. We are so grateful to you and Mataji for your prayers.
Hare
While
Krishna.
this is normal in the East Coast, in New York and other places, this is just normal thing. But Texas, it never happened like
Right.
this. So,
Right.
so we were not really equipped. The power generators were not equipped in the city and all of that to handle this kind of temperature. And that's why this was unprecedented for us.
People move to south, so that they don't expect snow and everything. But this year it was so different.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Swarupa Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavats Mataji, Dandavats Prabhu. Today's class was excellent. And Advaitacharya is very close to our hearts. And we are also planning to go to Shantipur just a day before Nityananda Trayodasi. So, and having heard more about Advaitacharya and especially some very, very special pastimes of Advaitacharya regarding, say, Radha Madan Mohanji. So our attraction to go to Shantipur increases. But actually, like, I'm wondering how you are managing to keep up to the Krishna consciousness and to keep up to worshipping of the deities, because you have so many deities with you, and you have what we see that they are also covered with woolen garments. That means it must be very, very cold out there. So we were wondering how you are managing all that, because having heard you for the last 4 months or more, we know how much attached you are to your deities. So with this thought, I thought I would extend our best wishes so that you could continue with the journey that you have taken us through all along. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. This means your prayers and your blessings mean so much to us, and your good wishes. This is all we can hope for from the Vaishnavas like yourself. Thank you so much.
And when you visit Shantipur, do pray for all of us. For everyone in the Bhakti Fellows family and also for both of us. Please do pray to Advaitacharya.
Hare Krishna, we will surely do that. Hare Krishna.
Whenever we land in Kolkata, coming from here, whenever we land in Kolkata, we always make a stop at Babla in Shantipur to see Advaitacharya. So
and today, special. And in India today, there is a special festival in Shantipur, and there will be a lot of khichdi Mahaprasad, which will be served as well.
Yeah, and you have also given us very special name, revealed a very special name of Advaitacharya, that who called Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So, and that spot where he actually conducted the worship of Shaligram's Shila and with Tulsi and Ganga water. So that spot is so divine.
Yes.
And it's so wonderful to visit. Yes. So we will remember you, obviously. We will remember the entire community out here, especially the children, and we will pray for each one of us.
Thank you. Thank you. So grateful. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Nikunja Leela Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji. This is Ram Syam Das.
Hare Krishna.
And Mataji and Prabhuji, it's a really very, very nice class. So we all family members listen all of your class. And we were missing last 2 days class, and we understand like you are facing so difficulty. We faced like before the summer started, on that time we had the storm here in we are in Philadelphia. So we had similar kind of 3 days no electricity, so so managing was very difficult, painful. Yeah, so classes are very, very wonderful. We are keep on following. Even my 2 of the kids are following. And Mataji and Prabhuji, I had 2 questions. So one is very silly, maybe it's kind of foolish question. And when we see on the altar, Advaitacharya Prabhu is the shown in the beard, means he's having beard.
Yes.
When we see the book of Chaitanya Bhagavat, so there is no beard in that. Advaitacharya Prabhu is the incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadasiva. So he is a Supreme Lord himself. So as Supreme Lord never get old. Never get old. So he should be, I mean, young, only like 16 years like Krishna. So that is the belief. And when we see that, Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Lila, part 1, cover page, so there is no beard in that. So just I'm trying to, understand, the confusion of that. If you can put light, it will be very, very grateful.
Sure. Actually, Srila Advaitacharya Prabhu, when he is, of course, he is Mahavishnu. So there is no question of Mahavishnu to age. But at the same time, when Krishna himself is appearing, Lord Chaitanya, even though he was 48, he used to appear like a, Navatarun. He was always in his, like in his 16, Yuva. He was in his Yuva. That's how Lord Chaitanya is displayed. And Lord Chaitanya, when he is having that kind of a persona in front of Lord Chaitanya, because he is source of even Mahavishnu, he is Avatari, he is the fountainhead of all incarnations. So in front of him, if Advaitacharya Prabhu also displays his magnanimity, that would reduce, the magnanimity of Krishna. So that's why, to highlight Mahaprabhu more, these personalities, they have reduced their magnanimity. That is one reason that is given. And that is the reason why in Advaitacharya Prabhu, when Mahaprabhu started his Sankirtan pastime, it is said that Advaitacharya Prabhu was, when Mahaprabhu appeared, Advaitacharya Prabhu was 52 years old. 52. Yeah. And when Mahaprabhu started his Sankirtan pastime, Advaitacharya Prabhu was 75 years old. He was 75. So, he, in the worldly image, he has wife, he has children, and he has to show people that he is 75. Otherwise, they will all, they will also declare him to be God. But remember, any one of them are not declaring themselves to be God in this particular incarnation. None of them are declaring themselves to be God. It is hidden. That is hidden. So if Advaitacharya Prabhu doesn't show his external old age, then everyone will say, oh, this is Krishna. This is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They will make that conclusion. And that was what was wanting to be covered and not displayed in that sense. So that is the reason why Srila Advaitacharya Prabhu, he has the beard to show that he is that old. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, in many places, there are many pictures also. There's one picture in when Advaitacharya Gosai, he went to visit Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu is as a sannyasi with shaved head, he's sitting, and the Panchatattva are there. In that particular picture, even Advaitacharya Prabhu shaved up. No beard, nothing. So, that also is there. So, but generally, Advaitacharya Prabhu had, the beard. So just to show to the world that yes, he is a 75-year-old man, and he left this world in the year 1539, I believe, at the age of 125. He was 125 when he left this world.
And at the same time, since he's the Supreme Personality, there is no restriction that he cannot show his old age. I mean, if we say, oh, he's Supreme Personality, so he should be ever youthful, and he cannot become old. That means we are saying he cannot do something. But if he's Supreme Personality, he can do anything he wants, anything, any way he wants to project himself. We cannot, there is no restriction on him that because it's his property that he's spiritual, so he should be Nava Yovanam and he should not become old. No, for him, for the Supreme Lord, because he's above matter, there is no difference between matter and spirit for him. For us, who is under Maya, for us, we have matter, spirit difference, Tatastha Shakti. But for him, matter is also spirit in one sense. So he can also produce himself in a old age form to assist in the pastimes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sadashiva and Mahavishnu combined are doing that as an assistant to all the devotees. Similarly, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, they also came. They are also residents of Goloka Vrindavan, but they came to assist the Lord in their service. And so therefore, of course, they are also spiritual, but they also manifested this pastime of growing old and things like that.
But then again, they're, although their body has grown that old, they have a spiritual body. Because we cannot imagine anyone who is, when Mahaprabhu started his Navadvip Sankirtan movement, at that time Advaitacharya was 75. So when Mahaprabhu took sannyas and when he left home, when he went to Jagannath Puri, he was so much more old, maybe around 80, 81. And even at those times, every year, Advaitacharya would go walking to Jagannath Puri. Anyone can we imagine? Such old men can do that? No. But Advaitacharya did. And he would dance like a madman in Sankirtan. He would just, he would be the highest. He would jump so tall, like, tall tall trees, he would jump that much. So no one can do that. So that's how he's showing his supremacy.
Thank you so much, Mataji, Prabhuji. So, Mataji and Prabhuji, second question, it's really beautifully you explained very well. That since we are under influence of the Maya, like Tataksha Sakti, and they are not at, but to show here in this world, so that we can understand they were performing the pastime, as Prabhuji told, even Yashoda Mai and Nanda Baba. Also, we see in the picture they do have the beard, and also they came from the spiritual world, but here they are showing those all things. So yeah. And so second question related to the similar Prabhuji and Mataji, Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he's having the debt of 300 rupees. So being Mahavishnu incarnation, he possesses all the opulence. So how it is digestible that he will have the debt of someone's? Is it kind of, so is it the same answer like you already gave?
Yes, it's similar. He is performing this pastime just as a regular person. And of course, his servant, Advaitacharya's Prabhu's servant, he went and chastised. He went and told the king that, please excuse him because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you should excuse his $300 debt, 300 rupees debt. And Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu then chastised that servant, saying, this is so contradictory. You are first revealing that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is true. He is Mahavishnu. And then you're saying he's in debt. How is that possible? So he's performing a pastime. Don't go and reveal these things to anyone like this. And he very much chastised. And he said, in this pastime, if he's having a 300 rupees debt, he will have to pay his 300 rupees debt and would not excuse himself from this particular thing. So he can manifest 300 rupees like that. But Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, let him manifest that 300 rupees and give it to him, rather than saying, oh, I am Supreme Personality, don't ask me for 300 rupees. So that's what Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu chastised his servant when his servant went and told the king to excuse Advaitacharya's debt. Now, Advaitacharya did not send his servant to say that. His servant himself wanted to go and say, and so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him in that way. Because that should not do that.
Because that's the mood of this particular pastime of Gaura Leela. Entire Gaura Leela is very covered. Everyone is in a Channa avatar. This is a Channa avatar. No one is claiming to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, except for Avadhut Mahashaya Nityananda Ram. He is the Avadhut. On Nityananda Trayodasi, we are preparing for a very, very special class on Lord Nityananda, that how he is Avadhuta. He does crazy things. He does, things that we cannot even imagine. So how is he? He has declared, I am Supreme Lord. He has declared that very boldly. But, Lord Chaitanya would classify him, don't say like this. So, Nityananda Ram, he is the special personality. But nonetheless, the entire Gaura Leela is very, very covered, very confidential. So that's how we should understand this.
Yeah, nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Beautifully explained. So, yeah. Thank you so much. So that's really nice.
Beautiful question. None of your questions are silly, Prabhu. Never say, silly questions, because they're so much in depth, and this gives us an opportunity to glorify the personality. So please, we thank you for your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji.
Are there any other questions? If not, we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Advaitacharya ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So if you all stay on a little more, we'll give you darshan of our Jagannath deities also. So please come with us to take darshan of our Jagannath. So here is this is Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, all in their winter clothes. Acharyas in their winter clothes. Panchatattva. Haribol. Haribol. And Krishna
Thank you,
Balaram.
Mataji, for beautiful darshan of your deities. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Panchatattva ki jai. Radha Madan.
Very beautiful altar, Mataji.
Jai. Thank you all so much.
Very beautiful darshan,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, please take care. Hare Krishna. Koti Koti Dandatana.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Prabhuji, we love you.
Hare Krishna,
Mataji, Prabhuji.
Take care, please.
Krishna, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandatana.
Hare Krishna, thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji, for a wonderful class and darshan. Hare Krishna, take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Please take care, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please take care of your health, both of you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.